Morning. Okay, let's come to a seated posture with the legs crossed, easy pose. So don't worry if your knees don't come right down to the mat. You can always also sit under some maybe blanket or a cushion to elevate the hips. So what helps you, when you elevate the hips a little bit, it helps you sort of easier for your lower back. So if I just place the block to show you, can you see what happened? My knees can come down and it's a nice straight back. But not many people like to sit on a block, so blanket or cushion. Anyway, so try to keep the length in your spine. Roll the shoulders up and back. Rest the palms of your hands down on your knees, or you can place it up in Chi Mudra, touching your index and thumb together. So just bring your attention to your breath and just slowly start. Inhale through your nose and then exhale through your nose. So with each inhalation, lengthen through the spine, expand the belly, try to breathe from the abdomen, so try to expand the abdomen, the chest. And as you release, try to maintain the length in your spine, releasing the shoulders down and slightly contracting your abdomen. So just take a moment to breathe like this. Inhale and lengthen, and exhale. Going to inhale maybe on a count to 5, lengthen through the spine, and then slowly exhale. Try to deepen the inhalation and slightly lengthen your exhalations. Then place the palms together to prayer pose in front of your heart center. Spread the fingers, bring the elbows to the side. Make sure you lengthen through the spine. Then inhale and raise your arms, stretch. Place the palms together, maybe lace your fingers. Reach up, bring the arms along the side of your ears or just behind so you can open the chest, open the heart. And then take the palms of your hands up, so press it up. Try to really lengthen through the spine, through your arms. Keeping the spine nice and long, come to a side bend. Stretching this opposite side of your torso, creating space between the vertebrae, between your ribs rather than vertebrae. And then inhale back to the center. Exhale to the opposite way. Inhale back to the center. Release your arms, lift the shoulders up and back. Now take your hands back, interlace your fingers just behind you, and draw your arms down and away from your body as you lift the chest. You can rest it down on a mat. So rather than create back bend, just lengthen through the spine and lift the chest. And then slowly release. Roll the shoulders up and back. And then make your way to a tabletop. Spread the fingers, place them straight down from the shoulders. Keep the knees hip apart. Inhale and hollow your back. Lift the chest away from the mat. The tailbone pointed up. A cow pose. Exhale, press with the palms of your hands, arch your back, chin to chest, tuck your tailbone under. Inhale, hollow your back again, lift the chest, lift the heart. And exhale, arch your back. Let's do this one more time. Inhale and hollow your back, look up. And then exhale, tuck the chin in, tuck your tailbone in, arching your back. And we're going to release the back, spine to neutral. Going to inhale and lengthen through the spine, so hollow the back again. And then bring the spine to neutral as you look down. Start contracting the abdomen and slowly bring the hips down towards the heels. Stay with the palms planted on the mat. Allow your hips to come down towards the heels. Rest on your forearms. Bring the chest towards your thighs and maybe rest the forehead down on the floor on the mat. Inhale and lift back to a tabletop. Lengthen, reach forward with the chest. Again, as you look down, bring the spine back to neutral, contract the abdomen. So bring the navel towards your spine and start bringing the hips slowly down towards the heels. As you rest on your forearms and maybe rest the forehead down. Inhale, return back to a tabletop. Neutral spine. Take your hands a little bit further forward to the edge of the mat. So we're coming down onto our belly through a back bend to a cobra pose. So placing our hands underneath the shoulders, shoulders away from our ears, elbows close to our body, feet hip apart. As you rest on your chin for the moment. Inhale and lift the chest. Shoulders back down to a cobra. So you don't have to lift very high. You can just do a mini baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale again. Make sure you square the hips and press them towards the mat. So anchor down towards the mat. Send energy right to your to your toes. And exhale, back down. So we're going to inhale again to a cobra. And this time we're going to bend our right knee. So lift the foot towards the sky. And then maybe lift slightly the knee off the mat. So working into our hip flexor, right hip flexor. Maybe lower down a little bit. Looking down in our cobra, just a baby cobra. Pressing the foot towards the sky. And then slowly release your chin down to the mat. Extend your leg. And again, inhale and lift the chest to a cobra. Bend your left knee. Press the foot towards the sky. Maybe lifting the knee slightly off the mat. Make sure you don't create tension in your shoulders. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. And then descend down as you release your leg. Rest on your chin. You can rock the hips from side to side. Inhale and lift to a cobra pose. This time press with the palms of your hands. See if you can peel the body off the mat. Through a back bend, keep your belly strong. Slowly bring back to a tabletop, lifting the hips, and then just taking to a child's pose. So extending through the spine. Stretching through the spine, through your arms. Allow your hips to come down as far as you can. So rest in a child's pose with your arms extended forward. You can take your elbows slightly toward you. And then come back to your knees. Keep the knees hip apart. And raise your arms along the side of your ears. Try not to bring them too close, so keep a space at shoulder level. And then with the next exhalation, take your arms to shoulder level as you twist to the right, looking towards your extended arm. So no tension in your shoulder. Make sure you keep the arms at shoulder level. Then release your arms towards your torso. Stay in a twist for a moment. And then turn the torso forward and then raise your arms again. The next exhalation, we're going to twist to the opposite side, bringing our arms to a shoulder level. Make sure there's no tension. Looking towards our extended arm. Then we're going to release our arms to our torso, stay in a twist for a moment. Then turn the torso forward. Raise our arms again. Now this time we're going to descend down with our hips, so hinging down from our hips. So we're going to take our arms to a shoulder level and then make sure you don't nose dive. So start bringing the hips down slowly. The chest is lifted. Crossing your arms on your lower back as you descend your hips towards the heels. The chest rests on your thighs. Maybe you can rest the forehead down. If you've got really tightness in your hips, then some people might find it quite challenging. So just rest the chest against your thighs. Don't worry if your forehead don't reach the mat. Then as you inhale, lift the head, lead with your heart. Bring the arms to the side as you start lifting, using the hips to your knees, extending your arms all the way. Let's do this one more time. So arms to a shoulder level. We're going to lead with our heart. Do not nose dive. Lower down, crossing your arms on your lower back, bringing the chest to rest on our thighs and maybe rest the forehead down. Inhale and bring the arms to the side, lead with your heart. Come back to your knees, raise your arms. And then release your arms against your body, along the side of your body. Bring yourself back onto a tabletop. Spread your fingers. Take the knees a couple of inches back for a downward dog. So make sure you really spread through your fingers. Curl your toes under. Lift the knees, just hover above the mat. Engage your abdomen and your obliques. So really be aware of the strength, holding the knees just above the mat, and then release it back down. And then raise the knees again. Keep the knees bent and just lift the hips. So lengthen through the spine. Lift the hips, keep the knees bent. Extend and rotate your upper arms so the shoulder blades rest on the back of our rib cage, allowing for the head and neck to rest between our arms. Looking towards our feet. And then you can soften the knees, straighten the knees a little bit, but make sure we don't arch your upper back so we don't end up looking like this. So really keep lifting the hips. And then just start slow movements, walking dog, bending the alternative knee forwards. And then as you lengthen through your spine, keep reaching with the hips up. Lengthen through the back of your legs. Maybe allow the heels come a little bit closer towards the mat. Don't worry if they don't reach towards the mat. Keep the knees soft if you need to, not to round your spine. So stay in downward dog maybe for a couple of breaths. If you find it really challenging, you can always release it back down to a tabletop or even rest in child's pose. So just do what feels right for your body so you can release it back down, come to a child's pose. Otherwise, stay in downward dog maybe for one more breath. Keep your core strong. And then from here, we're going to transfer this to a forward bend. So if you're able to walk your feet towards your hands, keep bending your knees. If not, you can just return back to a tabletop and then simply step your feet towards your hands into a forward bend. So soften the knees as much as you need to. Allow your head and neck to be loose. Rest the hands just in front of your feet. And then as you inhale, slide your hands through your feet towards your knees, so rest them on your shins. Lift the chest away from the mat. Create a nice long spine. Make sure the back of your neck is extension of your spine. So what we don't want to arch the back. So really nice straight back. Lift the chest away from the mat. Shoulders back down towards the hips. Exhale, back down. So sliding your hands down to a forward bend. Soften the knees a little bit more. And then raise your arms to the side. Lead with your heart. Bring the arms all the way up. Place the palms of your hands forward. Face them forward. Keep your core strong and just come to a slight back bend. And then release your arms all the way down. Lift the shoulders up and back. We're going to follow with the chair pose. So keeping the feet hip apart. We're going to raise our arms forward. And then just sink the hips back and down as we were sitting on an imaginary chair. But make sure the knees do not come forward so you can see your feet. So you can raise your arms a little bit even higher along the side of your ears, so you can just keep them in front of you, but make sure your spine is nice and long. And then release your arms down as you straighten your legs. Let's do this one more time. Raise your arm just in front of you, and then just take your hips down and away. So sit back onto imaginary chair. Make sure you can see your feet again, so make sure the knees are not too far forward, so the hips are reaching back. Your arms just in front of you, or you can raise them along the side of your ears. Make sure your spine is nice and long. And then again, release your arms, lift the shoulders, open back. We're going to do a little bit of balance today. So we're going to start feet hip apart. Take our right foot back, just tap down with your toes, so stretching through the right hip flexor, and then reaching forward with the knee, maybe placing your hand on your knee just for a moment. Reach again with your right leg back. Slightly shift the torso forward, and then the standing straight, bring the knee forward to a balanced pose. And then we're going to do a tree pose. So with your right foot, we're going to open the hips, so starting maybe low, placing the toes down and placing the heel against our ankle. So that's a first step, variation. Make sure your spine is nice and long. Bring your attention to your abdomen. Engage your abdomen. Maybe raise your leg a little bit higher if you have practiced before. If not, just stay low. So you can place your foot against your leg anywhere, but not against your knee joint. So find a point you can focus on. Bring the palms of your hands in front of your heart center. And bring your attention to your breath. So it's wise to start low if you haven't practiced before, as balances can be quite challenging. Just make sure you don't place against your knee joint. From here you can extend your arms. So imagine you're growing branches in your tree. Keep your attention on your breath. Bring the palms of your hands together in front of your heart center, and then release your leg. Let's do this on the other side. So take our left leg back, tap down, bring the torso slightly forward, and then bring the knee forward. You can lift the knee as high as you want to. You can always just tap down if you find it difficult. And then extend it back again. Bring it forward. And then take your leg to a variation that suits you. So open the hip, place the heel against your ankle. We might find it different on this side. Make sure you bring your attention to your breath and engage your core so you're able to stay in a posture. Maybe press the palms together first. Find a point that you can focus on and then extend your arms. And then slowly release. Palms together and release the leg. Release any tension. Take your feet wide apart. Strong legs. Extend your arms to a 5-pointed star with your arms in Y shape. Then take your arms to a shoulder level and come to a deep side bend. Placing your hand along the side of your leg, but try not to sink. Stretching through the side again. Keeping the chest open, so try not to bring the arm forward. And then slowly release, come to the opposite side. So nice deep side bends. Keep your legs straight and strong and hips are square, facing forward, opening the chest. And then slowly release. We're going to come to a triangle pose now. We did it last week, so facing to this side. Left foot, left knee in one line. Shortening the distance a little bit maybe, so you feel strong and steady. Bringing the toes of your right foot about 45 degrees. Extending your arms. Make sure you don't lock the left knee. So maybe keep it soft slightly. Then we're going to lengthen and reach towards our left foot. And then take our hand to where it feels right for you. So maybe it's just around the knee area. Make sure your chest is open when you reach with your arm up. So the chest must be open. Doesn't matter how low you go, your triangle could be quite gentle to a quite deep posture where you're bringing your arm in front of your left leg even. Your right arm reaches all the way up, but your chest is open. That's right, yes, you were trying to do a reverse triangle, which is more difficult, that's right. Yeah. So keeping the chest open. And then we press through our left foot, release our arms to a shoulder level. And we're going to try a warrior, so we stay in the same alignment. Both legs are straight to start with, and then bending the left knee. So make sure the left knee will bend at 90-degree angle where your knee is over your heel. So what we don't want is the knee going past the heel point. That will put pressure on your knee. So depending how low your warrior is, you might want to deepen the posture if your knee, if you want to go a little bit deeper where your thigh is almost parallel, depending how your hips are. If they're really tight, then your warrior could be just like this. But your knee's still going to be above your heel. So regardless how deep is your warrior, the knee will never go past that point. Are we okay? So sinking the hips to where it feels right for you. Your arms will be extended. Your arms will be strong but soft. We're going to gaze towards our extended arm, left arm. And then we're going to slowly come out of the posture, straighten our knee, face forward. Going to release our arms down. Sweep your arms up and reach again. Then take your hands, rest on your waist. Keep your spine nice and long, and then just bring the torso halfway. So you just parallel towards the floor. Stretch through the back of your legs. Feel the stretch and lengthen through the spine. And then reach with your arms again, lift the torso. Stretch your entire body through the legs, through the spine, through your arms. And this time, as you come down, you can slide your hands down your legs to your ankles and come to a forward, wide forward bend. So sliding your hands towards your ankles, maybe soften the knees a little bit. So you allow your head and neck to rest. To deepen the posture, you can take your elbows to outside. So bending the elbows a little bit. Allow your head and neck to rest down. Now as we inhale, we go and bend our knees and take the hips down. So if you look, I'm just standing sideways. So what's happened now, we're going to lift the torso so it's now parallel against the floor. So there's a straight line from the crown of my head towards the hip area. So the hips are down slightly, the knees are bent. That's right. And then as you exhale, straighten your legs slightly and again allow your head and neck to rest down. Maybe deepen the posture a little bit, maybe bend the elbows to the side a little bit more. And then do this one more time. Lower your hips down and bend your knees as you lift the chest. And exhale one more time, straighten your legs a little bit more, allow your head and neck to rest down. Now to come out of the posture, you can rather slide your hands towards your hips and lift the torso, or you can raise your arms to the side and then lift the torso, pressing through your feet and using the strength of your legs. Raising your arms to a 5-pointed star. And then we're going to come to the opposite side for a triangle and warrior. So facing towards the right side. Finding the right alignment where your legs are both straight. Your left leg now is pointing at 45 degrees towards the center of your body. Now extend your arms. Make sure you press the foot towards the mat so you're protecting the right knee from hyperextending. Then lengthen and reach towards your right leg, right foot. Then take your hand down to whatever feels right for you, but try to keep the chest open. So what we're trying to do, keep the chest open. So the left hip is slightly obviously facing forward, but the chest will be open. So again, you rather just come to a gentle pose where your knees slightly bend if you're totally new to a triangle, depending on your core strength as well, the hips. Or you can come a little bit deeper where your arm comes down towards the ankle. But the most important thing, the chest is open. So the arm is extended. The neck will be in a neutral position, so the neck is extension of your spine. And then you rather look straight ahead, or you can look towards your extended arm. That can be quite challenging. So just keep the neck in a neutral position as extension of your spine. To come out, you press through your right foot and release your arms to a shoulder level. And then we progress to a warrior two. So again, we bend our right knee. Make sure the knee never go past the heel points. It's a 90-degree angle. So if you can go quite low, then make sure you widen the distance. So arms are soft but strong, so try to really keep them relaxed. Gaze towards your extended arm in front of you, the right hand. And to come out of the posture, press through your right foot, straighten your leg. Face forward, release your arms, and let's stretch one more time. Lengthen through the spine, reaching with your arms. And then releasing your arms. Bring the feet hip apart, or maybe a little bit wider. Let's take our feet about 45 degrees out to the corner of the short edge of the mat. Raise our arms. Bring to a prayer pose in front of your heart center. So we're going to try to come to a squat pose. Bring our hips down through as we bend our knees. Now, if your hips are really tight and maybe you just come out halfway there, so you can rest the elbows down on your knees and maybe stay there for a couple of breaths. If you're able to bring the hips all the way down, you will press the palms of your hands together to open the knees, open the hips to the side as you lift the chest. If you're halfway there, you can just stay like this, or if you're all the way down, then you lengthen through the spine, pressing your knees. You can come out earlier if you need to. So simply you would place your hands behind you and slowly, gracefully come down to the mat. So taking your hands behind you and then just taking your hips down. Now we come into the mat on our back. Extending our legs. Bring the knees towards our chest first. You can rock the hips from side to side, massaging the lower back. And then we're going to do a little bit of core work, simply extending our legs. So placing our arms along the side of our body. Maybe you can place it underneath your bottom. That will help you with the core strength. So it's up to you, rather extend it along the side or place the palms of your hands underneath your bottom. And then just lower your legs using your core strength. So nice control movement. Bring the legs together. And slowly descend. Then we're going to engage our abdomen and just lift both the legs as a unit. Slowly lift. And then again, slowly descend down. If you find it really hard to descend all the way down, we're going to do this one more time. So just stay above the mat. And then just raise the legs again. Extend them all the way up so your feet facing towards the sky, and then lower again with control. As you lower your legs, see if you can just stay above the mat for maybe a breath or two. And then slowly descend it all the way back down. Bring the knees towards the chest again. And gently sway from side to side. Or make it circle to the right and to the left. And then place your feet down on the mat, feet hip apart. Now lift the right foot, flex your foot. To protect your knee, we're going to do a hip up knee reclining figure 4. Place your ankle over your left knee as you open the hip. So the flexed foot should protect your knee. So we're opening through the hip joint rather than the knee, twisting the knee. Then rather stay there if your hips are really tight, or take your hands, place them between your legs and wrap your hands around behind your thigh, behind your knee, lifting the foot from the mat. So we feel a stretch through the glute and also you're opening through the hip. And then slowly release the leg down. Release the right leg And lift the left foot of the mat, flex your foot first, and then take it across your right knee as you open your hip. And rather stay there if your hips are really tight, or lift the foot, right foot of the mat, and bring the hands between your legs and wrap your hands between your knee. Take one more deep breath. And then slowly release. Extend your legs. Now lift the upper shoulders, reach with your arms forward. So we're going to come up to seated posture using our core strength. And then swing our legs to the side and come into our back. And to our front, sorry. For a locust pose. Anchor the hips to the mat, square, feet hip apart. Bring your arms in front of you. Rest the chin down. Inhale and raise your right arm just slightly above the floor and lift the chest as you're raising your opposite leg. So right arm, left leg. And then slowly release. As you exhale, inhale and lift the opposite arm and right leg. So left arm and right leg. And then slowly release. Let's do this again. Right arm, left leg. And then release. Opposite side, left arm, right leg. And then release. Rest on your chin for a moment. And then raise your arms. Lift the chest slightly. Palms of your hands can face one another. And then release. Now raise just your legs. Lift them slightly and reach back. And then slowly release. Let's do this one more time. Raise your arms and just lift the chest. And then release your arms and lift just the legs. Reach back. And then release as you rest on your chin. Now we're going to try to do both. Raise our arms and chest, and then maybe incorporate the legs. Shallow breathing. You can always just descend, or maybe just stay lifted with your upper body or just your legs. And then just slowly release. Now cross your arms. Rocking the hips from side to side. Rest the forehead on your crossed arms in crocodile pose. And then slowly bring your hands underneath the shoulders for a cobra pose. Inhale and lift the chest. Shoulders back down. Exhale and lower. Again, inhale and lift to a cobra. This time, see if you can press with the palms of your hands. Through a back bend. Keep the belly strong. Lift the hips, so keep the belly really strong. Return back to a tabletop. And then just slowly stretching and lengthening through the spine. Bring the hips down towards the heels. Allow your hands to shift back a little bit. Stay in a child's pose with your arms extended in front of you, or you can always cross the forearms and rest the forehead down. And then slowly return back to a tabletop, bring your knee forward, and we're just going to switch onto our back for a bridge pose. Place our feet straight down from the knees. For the moment, extend our arms along the side of our body. Just place the palms of our hands down. But we're going to use our arms to lift to a bridge pose. So make sure your feet are hip apart, straight down from your knees, so they're not too far to put pressure on your lower back or too close where you put pressure on your knees. So just see how it feels when you lift the hips. So with the next inhalation, lift the tailbone, lift the hips, press through your feet and come to a bridge pose. Lengthen through the back of your neck so the chin comes slightly towards the chest. Then extend your right arm just above your head. Stay in a bridge. Keep lifting the hips. And then slowly descend. Start descending your spine vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing down as you raise your arm, and then slowly descend as your spine comes down, your arm comes down. Let's do this on the opposite side. So lift the tailbone, lift the hips, and raise your opposite arm. As you stay in a bridge, make sure you lengthen through the back of your neck so the chin comes slightly towards the chest. And then slowly start descending. Bring the spine down as you're raising your arm and slowly descending as the hips are coming down last. Let's do this one more time with both arms. So lift the hips as you press through your feet and then incorporate your arms. Lift the arms. If you find it really challenging, then don't bring your arms too close together to your ears. Just make a little bit of space or even bend your elbows slightly. Make sure you lengthen through the back of your neck so the chin is closer towards the chest. Stay in a bridge for maybe one more breath. And then slowly start descending as you bring your arm up and slowly descend the spine, bringing the arms down the same time. Then bring the knees towards the chest. Gently press and just sway from side to side. Then extend your left leg. As you're pressing the right knee towards the chest, extend the left leg, maybe even flex your foot. And then slowly with control, lower your leg down. The left leg comes down towards the mat as you keep pressing the right knee towards the chest. And then rather extend the leg straight or soften the knee a little bit, bend the knee if you find it really challenging. And extend your right arm away from your body with your left hand. Place it on the outside of your knee, of your thigh, and just bring it across the body to a twist. So the twist comes from your lower back. Apply a bit of pressure on your knee. Make sure your right arm and shoulder stays down. Look towards your extended arm as you're pressing slightly to over your right knee. And then slowly bring your knee back to the center. Press towards the chest. Raise your left leg again. So the face is towards the sky. Then we're going to switch. We're going to bend the left knee towards our chest. Extend the right leg straight. Stretch through the back of your leg, maybe point and flex your right leg as you're pressing your left knee towards the chest. And then slowly with control, start descending your right leg down to the mat. Extend your legs straight on the mat, or maybe soften the knee if you find it And then as you extend your left arm away from your body, palm of your hand down or up, whichever feels right, taking your right hand across, placing it outside of your knee, your thigh, and just take it across the body to the twist. Make sure you keep the left arm and shoulder down and look to the extended arm. If you find it quite challenging, that you can always lower the knee further down and just rest the hand on your upper hip, on the side of your hip. So it's more gentle twist. And then slowly return the knee back to the center. Extend your leg, left leg last time, and then just lower back down all the way to the mat. Place your feet wide apart, a little bit wider than the hips. Allow your feet and your thighs gently roll out with gravity. Lift the arms and place them along the side of your body. Palms of your hands are facing up. So leave yourself a space. Your arms are slightly away from your torso. Take a nice deep breath and exhale through your open mouth. Let go of any tension. And then just bring your attention to your right leg. Tense, maybe lift an inch or so from the floor, and then release. Tense your left leg, and then release. Bring the tension towards the hip area. Clench your buttocks and maybe lift the hips. And then release. Bring the tension along the spine. Press the shoulders down. Puff up the chest. Tighten your abdomen. Then exhale and release. Shrug the shoulders towards your ears. And then release them back down towards the hips. Make fists with your hands. Lift, tense, and then release. Tighten your facial muscles. Make a small face. And then release. Keep your eyes closed and scan your body for any tension. And then release. And gently sway your head from side to side. Bring your attention to your breath. Slowly inhale and slowly exhale. You can stay in this posture as long as you need to. Or you can just bring a small movements to your fingers, maybe your feet. And maybe stretch. And then you can just rebend your knees and just roll onto the right side just for a moment to contemplate the practice with your knees bent into fetus position. And then slowly just support yourself with your pressing through your right hand. You can keep your eyes closed. Make your way to an easy pose with your legs crossed. Bringing your arms forward. Lengthen through the spine as you inhale to a prayer pose. And exhale and bow forward. Namaste. Thank you very much.